Good. That's very kind of you, ladies and gentlemen. I love you all very much, and how kind of you. I'm afraid you won't be quite so pleased when I do tell you there is some rather unfortunate news. It's my job to have to break it to you that at the last minute, the word fuck had to pull out of the show. This is largely due to the presence of the cameras. So the word fuck won't be making an appearance this evening. I know a lot of you will have come expecting to see the hilarious antics of the word fuck and his family. Fucker, fucked, fucks, fucking, fuck mustard, wild fuck under the table. But they can none of them, sadly, be here. However, it's not all bad news. Very kindly, at the last minute, we have some understudies who've agreed to step in. The word bother will be playing the part of the word fuck through the evening. And the word gosh will be doubling as hell, shit, bitch, and piss. And very luckily, literally just this minute, the word blimey agreed to take on the part of the word clitoris, which doesn't actually appear in the show anyway, but it's as well to be safe. So, just before we begin, a word or two about the cause that has brought us all here this evening. You know, we talk a great deal, don't we, about safe sex, really. And, of course, by that I don't mean making love to a strong box. No, I just say that to lighten the tone. There are hundreds of ways, aren't there, of enjoying safe carnal relations, sexual congress, love-making, coitus, copulation, coition. There are hundreds of words for it. Fucking is another one, of course. And I thought to help us through this minefield, it would be a good idea if here, on stage, with the help, obviously, of one or two volunteers, I showed you some of the principles of safe sex. So let's welcome our first volunteer couple, Dawn French and Hugh Laurie. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening
To you. Now, you're going to be making love for us on stage. Is that right?
Yes.
That's about the size of it, yeah.
Yeah, size isn't important, Hugh. I thought you knew that. All right. Okay. So, if you're ready, would you like to go into unsafe position number 1, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, that position there is unsafe. That is an unsafe position. And break, relax, and rest. And now, could we please have a look at the safe version of that position? Sure. Thank you. Perfectly safe. Couldn't be safe. As safe as anything. Thank you. And now, would you like to go into unsafe position number 2? That position is unsafe. An unsafe position. And break. Let's have a look at the safe version, please. Can we see the safe version of that position? And that position is perfectly safe. Now can we have unsafe position number 3? That position is unsafe. Let's have a look at the safe version of that position, please. Thank you. And that position is perfectly safe. Thank you. And now, unsafe position number 4.
This is the most dangerous one.
This is the most dangerous. Thank you. And break, quickly. Thank you very much. That's very, very unsafe. Radically unsafe. Now, to show you the safe version of this position, we need another volunteer, but he would rather remain anonymous, so would you please welcome Mr. R. Thank you. Now, Mr. R, would you like to help us go into safe position number 4, safe version of the position we've just seen? And that position is perfectly safe. Well, thank you very much. I hope we've all picked something up there.
Well, I hope...
No, we don't hope that.
No, we hope we haven't picked something up.
Now we can go into the rest of the show and enjoy ourselves. Thank you.
There, that's better. Well, my name is Jeremy Hardy, since you ask, and I make no bones about it. I was brought up in Surrey. There's no point beating around the bush. Social deprivation played no part in my upbringing whatsoever. If any kids went barefoot down my street, it was because their parents put Wilton carpet outside on the pavement. I do have a social life, in spite of what you might think. I've actually got a friend called Steve. I suppose most people have, really. It's nothing to brag about, but he means a lot to me, but he's a bit disorganised. He is an untogether unit. I remember one time he was staying with me and he woke up in the morning, I woke up, and he was already meddling, fiddling around the flat. I could hear him sort of walking around the flat. And he came in my room and he said, "Well, Jeremy, I've used your toothbrush. I hope you don't mind." And I said, "Well, actually, Stephen, yes, I do mind. I think it's rude of you. You might have asked me first. For all I know, you've got some gum disease. With Clark, an ulcer, something like that." He said, no, it's all right. I used it to clean some dog shit off my shoe." So we got dressed and we went up to Camden Lock Market, which is Antiques Market in North London, and we were looking around the stalls, and the minute my back was turned, Steve had disappeared, he'd vanished. And he came bounding up to me, pleased as punch, and said, "Jeremy, look what I've got for 15 quid. Art Deco chocolate." I said, "Stephen, this is Toblerone." When I'm travelling on the Underground in London and there aren't very many seats and the sliding doors open and a couple get on, I won't move to another seat in order to allow that couple to sit together. I'm sorry, why should they? What possible good will it do them? To some couples, it seems important to be seen, to sit together publicly and manifest their oneness to a compartment by intertwining bits of themselves. And no one's impressed. We're not sitting there thinking, "Blast, I won't be able to hold hands with either of those two then." Just my luck. I can't abide couples like that. The sort of people who live together but go down the pub for a snog. Eat the same twiglet from opposite ends and meet. Girlfriends in their boyfriend's rugby shirt with the collar turned up. Why do people do this? Have they got pimples on their necks they're embarrassed about? Is the love bite gone septic or what? Actually, a love bite's a disgusting thing to do to another human being. To show them that you care. You might as well whack him in the neck with a steak tenderizer. Put a heart on their forehead with a branding iron. This is one of my snappiest suits that I'm sporting, because it is being televised. I didn't actually pay for this. I got this in return for sexual favours. I went to Boots on my brother's behalf. But I admit I'm quite a pallid unit. I'm a bit wan, because there hasn't been much sun this year. But I don't cheat with lamps and creams. I don't fake tans. No, really. I think I might Tipex my abdomen to make the rest of me look darker. I'm going to finish now, but before I do, there's something that's on my mind, because it's been on yours, and I know this. You've been sitting there, you've been thinking, well, here's a charming, erudite, bit of a swinging sex machine, and you've been impressed by me, but you're thinking, well, he's a bit of a small bastard, isn't he? Particularly the people up in the balcony, they're looking down, they're thinking he's a runt, he's a small little bastard. I know that's what's on you, but in actual fact, I'm not actually that small, because in proportion to the size of my genitals, I'm quite big. My name is Jeremy Hardy, and good night to you.
do that, or lick anybody else's lips, do something, okay? Because she won't believe this. That's fabulous. No, I like to send photos of myself to my mother so she can show her friends. She says, this is my daughter with her public. And then they show her pictures. They say, this is my daughter with her husband. And my mother grows another pile to add to her collection. You know, she blames me. She says I'm the reason she can't sit down. But she's ruined me for she blames me for the entire ruination of her body. This is a woman who attempted a tummy tuck in her 8th month of pregnancy. I swear to God. Well, anyway, who cares? It's spring, and I'm about to get my license back. I was banned for a year. You know, one of those things, you do that to me in this country. I didn't do anything wrong. I was a teeny weeny bit drunk. I just pulled over some policemen, and I said, how the fuck do I get off this roundabout? They pulled me out of the car. You know, I had to walk on that line. This was not a good time to show off my 2 years of ballet training. No. Anyway, I had to be a pedestrian, which was awful, because when I was a driver, I used to use pedestrians as target practice. So I hated it. I hated all that air out there, you know. I just hate health in general, really. You know what I hate the most is those natural food shops, you know those? You know, what does that mean? They sell turf? I mean, what, isn't organic just another word for dirty fruit, for God's sake? You know what they sell? They sell that tofu? Girls, have you ever had a yeast infection? You know what I'm saying? It's not 200 miles away from what tofu looks like, is it? No. No, it's not. And they sell you those candy bars, you know, made out of that stuff pigs won't even eat, soya, you know? And they wrap it up, they put the word ola at the end of it, yumola, you know, crunchola, rechola, they put it on. Then they got those natural shoe shops, you know, what does that mean? It comes with the doggy stuff already on it? You know, I spend hours a week shaving off natural. I don't want to eat it for lunch or wear it on my foot, for God's sake. In America, we don't care about natural so much. We just care if we look young. You know, that's the thing. I mean, look at you in this country. You don't care what you look like. Look at you. You let yourself go. You have old people walking in the street. Old people, unashamed in public. It's an old country. It's disgusting. It's an old country. You don't care if you look old. And your most famous people are dead. So what do you care? You know, I come from a young country. We have to look young. And we'll do anything for it. Suck the glands out of a monkey. Bathe in formaldehyde, that's one. But the biggie now is human placenta. That's afterbirth to you, cream, rinse, and moisturizer to us. The first sign of a crow's foot, they run to the maternity ward with a bucket, you know? No, they don't come to see the baby. They come for the leftovers. Toss out that kid and cut the cord. You know what I'm saying? But the men here are starting to look like the men in America. That's going on here. You know, the men here used to look like dead halibut. I know that. And now they look like athletes. Everybody wants to look like an athlete. Just tell me why. Because, you know, when I was going to high school, the biggest jerks in the place were the athletes. Remember them? They used to get a degree in bringing your pencil. Used to use their head as a dartboard and they wouldn't know it, right? Now they're on television doing those commercials for jeans, telling me what jeans to wear with a translator standing by to interpret the grunts. The pecs are like blown up beyond recognition, so the alligator on the Adidas shirt is now 40 feet long from that overextended pec. You know what it is? These men have breasts I've only dreamt about. There's no willy anymore. That's been pulverized by the Mondo thighs. You know, so hard you can like rebound a speeding bullet off of it. Huge size, right? So there's no willy. So what's in its place? What's in its place? The Filofax. Yeah, the Philo. No, this is the leather-bound representative of what used to be in their pants, you know, so they carry it like this. You know, the bigger the better. So they sit up all night copying the phone book into it so it's really big. Hey, I got 5 inches of restaurants in Croydon on your knees, woman. True, I'm not making this up. Yesterday, I swear to God, I saw Filofax carrying a human being. True, I swear to God. Well, I don't know why you're smirking, because this whole country's Americanized. totally Americanized. You know, when I got here 12 years ago, I was ashamed. I was ashamed that people would hear my adenoids and they would blame me for Vietnam and congratulate me on going to the moon. You can look in my passport. I've been in neither one of these places. And the most degrading thing is when the English waitresses try to be pert like us Americans, you know? Pert and tight like they could hold their pencil between their buttocks, you know, like this. Looks like they just snorted Doris Day. And they pull those lips back over their heads, so you're looking at wall-to-wall teeth, you know? And then they bark, "Y'all have a nice one in your face." Very flattering. Well, let me just tell you, it seems fair to me. You gave us London Bridge, we gave you the Whopper. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to a frighteningly special edition of Piano Masterclass. And we're very lucky to have with us this evening young Hugh. Hello, Hugh.
Hi.
Excellent. Well done. Very good. Very, very good. All right. So, have you chosen a piece of music for us?
Yes, I've chosen Shelper's Bridal Nocturne.
Shelper's Bridal Nocturne. All
Yes.
right. Okay, we'd like to go and sit down then. You've got
Yes,
your music.
right,
There's
okay.
the piano. Well, Hugh. What do you think you're doing?
Well, you told me to sit down.
It's hitch.
I beg your pardon?
Hitch your trousers, Hugh. Hitch your trousers. You're not loose at the knee. If you're not loose at the knee, you might as well not be here.
Oh, all right.
No, Hugh, come back. I can help you to go nice and loose at the knee, all right? Just a question of being relaxed and fluid, all right? Like so.
Okay.
There you go. That. Now go and do that over the stool.
Yeah, okay.
Lovely. All right. Now, open the piano.
It's locked.
What?
The lid is locked.
Shit. Not to worry. Look around you, improvise. What do you see?
A locked piano.
Yes, look. Here's a guitar. Use this.
I can't play the guitar.
No, use it to smash open the piano.
Oh, right, okay.
Excellent. Well done. Now, Hugh, are your hands nice and warm?
Well, they could be warmer.
All right, well, we'll warm them up then. Very important not to have any stiffness.
No.
All right, so here's an old trick to help you warm your hands. Put them between the legs like that and give them a good warm-up, all right?
Okay.
You try that now. No. Your own legs, all right?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
See,
Right.
I said we don't want any stiffness.
Oh, no, right. Okay. Yeah.
That's it. Nice and warmed up?
Yep, I think
You're
so.
relaxed?
Yep.
Fluent at the knee?
Yes.
All right, then. Now, what's the time signature of your piece?
3/4.
Mm-hmm. Now, that's a waltz time, isn't it?
Yes.
And what's
Yes.
the key thing about waltzes here?
They're in 3/4 time.
They're frothy, they're giddy, they're romantic, they're light. So let's see a frothy, giddy, light, romantic attitude to the keyboard. All right? Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha.
Yes, not too frothy here. We can't afford it too frothy. Right. All right. Now cock nice and high. Cock higher. Cock as high as you can. That's lovely. All right. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And.
Shall I start?
Yes, go. Go on. Yes. Yes. All right, Hugh. Whoa, Hugh. This is a bridal nocturne, isn't it?
Yes.
Bridal nocturne.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a girlfriend, Hugh?
Yes, I have, as a matter of fact, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you make love on a regular basis?
Well, you know,
Mm-hmm. Did you make love last night? You don't have to answer that.
Oh, right.
Well,
Well, what?
did you make love last night?
Well, yes, I did, as a matter of fact, yes.
All right. Now, I want you to relive that experience in your mind. All right? Are you
Yeah.
making love again in your mind as you did last night?
Nearly.
Good. All right. Now, I want you to play for me exactly as you made love last night.
Right. That's it, is it?
Well, yes. I'm sorry, it's not your fault. I'm tired.
Okay, not to worry, not to worry. If you'd just like to shift over there and lose your stiffness.
Right.
I'll show you how it should be done, all right? Cocked high.
Yeah.
Relaxed at the knees. Frothy.
I see that.
All right, yes. You see?
Yeah.
What?
No, nothing.
Oh, go on.
Well, it wasn't very good, was it?
What?
Well, I mean, you didn't play it very well.
Yes, well, that's all we have time for this evening.
No, I mean, in fact, that was enormously bad.
Yes, that's all we have time for this evening.
How long have you been teaching the piano?
I teach pupils here. I don't teach the piano. That would be stupid. Just a lump of wood.
Oh, right.
All right? If you're so clever, play this. Sight read this. My shit-hot student is going to play for you now.
Well,
sight reading.
What is
Come
it?
on,
What is it?
Never mind what it is. Just play it. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. I don't know, is everyone enjoying themselves? There's just no way of knowing backstage. You having a good time? Yeah. Marvellous. Just got a bit of feedback. It's very, very exciting. It's a bit like Live Aid. I don't know, because I wasn't at Live Aid. It doesn't matter. It didn't need to be. But, no, it's just that it's really exciting. I met lots of really exciting people, so it's really great. It's probably to do with... No, cheers, it's lovely. I hadn't met them before. It's probably to do with the elections, actually. I don't know if anyone realises it's quite soon. You probably do, sorry. Probably all done a lot of that canvassing and things, have you? Well, anyway, not to worry. Because lots of people have been round to my house, actually. I don't know where they get my dress from. I didn't know. They just keep coming round. And, but the Green Party came round, actually, which is very nice. I don't know if you've got any supporters, because they did a bit of gardening and everything. Which was great. And they said, can we rely on your vote? And I said, you certainly can, because they've done it, as I say, they put some hedges, they tied them up and everything, just like that. Anyway, that's just the political stuff. Just mention the Green Party. Anyway, it's lovely to see quite so many families here tonight. It's lovely, it's really nice. It's a joke. No, because I come from a family, obviously it's a tenuous link, it's a bit of a trick in comedy, I come from a family. I'm very lucky, actually. We're a very marvellous family, very open and free, actually, which is quite useful for modern-day society. And they were marvellous, my family. They were really good, because you could actually talk about anything. It was one of those families you could just go home and you could just talk. You could talk about the weather, actually. You could just go home and talk about the weather, if you could, sometimes, if you wanted to. Well, as long as it affected you emotionally, did it make your periods late? That we could talk about. It was lovely. It was really open and free. And I remember I heard this word at school. It's absolutely true. And I knew it was rude because somebody said it really loudly in assembly, and they'd been expelled, and nobody knew what it meant, but it was rude. Anyway, so I went home, and I thought, that's fine, because we're very open and free, so I can ask, my mother what it means. So I went home, and I said, look, I've heard this word at school. I know it's rude. Can I ask you what it means, Mummy? Sorry, can I ask you what it means? Mrs. Ledger, because we're also quite formal. There's being open. And, obviously, no, I can call her Mummy at Christmas, but it was in the summer term, so anyway. And she said, yes, because that's the way we talk. We're really direct. We know where you stood. So it's really lovely. And I said the word, actually. I just say the word. It's a bit rude. Sorry, masturbation. It's pertinent. I don't know if it's pertinent or not. Sorry. No, but I said the word. And she said... it's not the kind of word we use at the dinner table, Helen. So obviously I had to wait till all the guests had gone. enormous party, hundreds of people. It was a big do. Anyway, so they went home and I said the word again, and she said it's giving sexual pleasure to yourself, Helen. So I thought, right, okay. Where does the sexual pleasure come from? I mean, is it gift wrapped? Because you don't know when you're young, do you? When you don't. Well, I didn't. Anyway, but maybe you did. But they were marvellous, and they got me this early learning kit, actually. I think Fisher-Price still do it. I don't know if they do. Called Mr. and Mrs. Happy Body. I don't know if you had that. Did you have Mr. and Mrs.? Oh, well, anyway, I was really happy in my room, Mr. and Mrs. Happy Body. It's really exciting. I got so excited I broke it. Which is... No. But... I did think it was strange, though, when I had my first, and the person didn't actually ring the bell when No, but this was in the 50s. Come on, this was in the 50s. Obviously, a lot more equal now. Everyone has bells, otherwise I wouldn't be standing up here so happily tonight. Anyway, I must just talk about relationships, if I may. I had this relationship, and you know what it's like at the beginning, and it's really exciting, and you make an effort on Saturday nights to dress up, really exciting. And we went on holiday, just really, and we got in the plane, and we sat in the non-smoking, and we didn't smoke. It was wild. It was really wild. It was just so exciting. It was really great. And we didn't watch the film, obviously, because they don't have them on British Midland, obviously, just domestic flights, and bother with the film. And he brought some slides with him, which is great. Just look at those pictures of his dog and lots of sky. Took him when he was 10, I think. And it was quite interesting, passed the time. And, got off the plane, and I said to him, what do you want to do? And he said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I don't mind. And he said, well, I don't mind. And I said, well, I only want to do what you want to do. And he said, well, I only want to do what you want to do. Well, I only want to do what you want to do if you want to do it, not because you think I'm imposing my values, because we're not. Anyway, after 3 days at the airport, we compromised. Went home. What can you do? But I did have a better relationship. I'd just like to mention it. There's a bit more honesty in it. But I say honesty. I remember actually saying to him one day that his Terraline trousers made him look like one of the most attractive computer scientists I'd ever been lucky enough to go out with. And it wasn't true. It was a lie. And we needed help, obviously, because you need help. So we went along to this place. It was really helpful about this kind of... The post office, actually, very helpful. And... very good. And they suggested we go to marriage guidance, so we got married. Well, I did, anyway. And went along. And it was really good. It was a really helpful place. Because I went, and this woman who was my therapist, and she wanted to know everything about me, like my shoe size, what I had in my fridge, that kind of thing. It was amazing, because she knew things about me that I didn't even know, right? Because I didn't even know I had a fridge. But, no, I did. I just lied to her. I just didn't trust her. But we built up trust, as you do. And she said, OK, she said, did they have any fantasies? It's quite rude, this. I don't think they know anything. And I said, yes, I did, but they're quite personal, quite private. So she left the room to shout them through the keyhole. It's a bit embarrassing, high profile, the whole thing. It's quite rude. See, what happens, it's an M&S fantasy. So quite rude. So they don't know I'm doing it. So what happens is I go into Marks and Spencer's, right? And it gets worse, come on. And it's very late, it's very dark, and I got to the strawberry yoghurt counter. And I get a strawberry yoghurt, and then I got to the briefs counter, I told you, nodding faces, I think, yeah, Moyon, 34 centimetre. Anyway, so what happened? I put the strawberry yoghurt in the briefs, right? And then I rush out the shop. I know, it was... it was a sweat, just thinking about it. Anyway, so she came back in and she said, no, that wasn't what she meant. No. She said, have you tried any role-playing? See, I don't know if you've done any role-playing. It's quite interesting. I hadn't done any. She said, what I want you to do is I want you to go home and I want you to pretend to be a tunnel. It's a bit strange image. And I want you to ask him to pretend to be a train. And this will help. And I thought, I can't go home and ask my partner to pretend to be a train. Excuse me, would you mind being a train? Because I think this will help our relationship enormously. But no, he loved the idea. He did. He went out and bought a ticket collector's uniform, flat cap, whistle. What could you do? He had to go. But anyway, I don't know if anyone's actually been in between relationships here. I don't mean in between lots of people are having lots of relationships, like tonight maybe. No, I just mean like when somebody's dumped you. I don't know if you've had that. No, it's lovely. It's really lovely. And it's great. And the next person's too frightened of your sheer looks, beauty and talent to ask you out. Do you know what I mean? Being dumped is super. So... It is, isn't it? And what you do is you go to one of these top-to-toe beauty places when you've been dumped. It's really super. And so you get, because you've got lots of time, and you go on a sunbed. Don't know if anyone's been on a sunbed. It's really good. It's really exciting. But before you get on a sunbed, you have to sort of sign this indemnity form, so you completely don't mind out all the accompanying perks. Cancer, skin, discoloration, moles. No, because you're in between relationships. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so what you do is... You get on the sunbed, and it's a bit like being in a sandwich toaster. You get on the bottom rung, and then you put the top rung down so you can just about breathe without burning your lips on the radiation tubes. It's quite funny. And then you baste yourself in all the sweat, right? Sometimes your own, sometimes the person who's been there before. It doesn't matter. You baste yourself like that, and then you're really red, right? And then you go and have a massage to tone down the redness so nobody ever knows that you've been on a sunbed before. It's just quite a good secret to keep. Anyway, so what you do is I had this massage, you see, and very thorough, all the nooks and crannies. But I didn't realise they gave free cervical smears in these places. No, And they do, it was amazing. And she's very laid back, very relaxed, you know, just chewing gum, that kind of thing. But she lost it, actually. She couldn't find it. I found it when I got home, but I didn't think I'd send it to her. But no, it's really good, as I say, for making friends. So what you do is you have all these juice bars, all types of juice, just any type of juice you want, you just go up to the juice bar. So I was at the juice bar. I was actually having orange juice because they didn't have any other juices that day. It was probably just a day for orange juice, I don't know. And I was having orange juice, and this person came in and they said to me, jacuzzi, like that. It was quite funny. And I said, mais oui, jacuzzi, thought they were French. It was silly, really. And no, because what a jacuzzi is, I don't know if you know, there's a sort of like a small swimming pool, well, very small swimming pool, and you just get in, you really relax, so you hang on to the sides, and all these waves come at you, you know, so you don't drown. Just hold on like that, and for about 3 seconds. And when you're really relaxed, you can pop out. And then you collect up all these things like elastoplast, scabs, nail, and then you go back to the juice bar, and you see, these belong to anyone, and it's a really good tip for making friends. Right. So I'll tell you that, it's useful in this day and age. Anyway, I'd just like to leave on a bit of a showbiz adage. It's a bit of a showbiz evening, right? As John Cleese said to me, never name drop. This is quite funny. No, he said... he did actually say, he said, Helen, he said, always leave your audience at the end of your act, which is what I'm going to do. Thank you very much. Good night.
Okay, actually, my name's Tony Blackhead, and actually, I don't know if you remember me, but I do, and actually, I used to know loads of really funny jokes, like, what do you call a pigeon with 3 heads? Weird, okay, and actually, here's someone who really likes to talk.
Look, I would like to say this. First of all, I think it's great that everybody's come here tonight. But I think it's important that we address the problems that we have in our society today. And I think most importantly, just how big is a kipper? And does it expand like a great fishy balloon, sort of like a puffer fish?
Okay. This is a great moment here because David Bowie's coming back into it. They never really went out of it, did he? But we won't go on about that anyway. It's a bit silly, bit of a waffle. Anyway, David Bowie's new single called Where's My Sausages? And here he is to do it. Where's my sausages? They're not where I put them yesterday. Here am I floating on a cupcake. Little fat Italian on a motor scooter. Yes. He had my sausages hanging off his ears. Yeah, okay, right, fine. Anyway. Thank you very much. Thank you. Here's someone who hasn't had a hit single for about 4.5 million light years. I think he's really good, this guy, when he can actually understand what he's talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you the Celtic Cell Brothers and the Strong Devoted. I was going back and sing the album, back into somebody, and I'm trying to make a princess on her. Back in 60, I didn't swear to God. Oh, come on, Ollie. Oh, come on, Ollie. I'm going to make this up. I'm going to... Oh, that's what I like, that's what I like. Here's a bit of culture for you now, folks. I think you deserve this. This is the wonderful words of William Wandsworth, and I think this is probably... I think this is probably his finest work. I wandered lonely as a cloud. Yes, love. And obviously, who better to do it, really? One of the finest reciters of classical poetry of all time. How's it going? Yeah. We're going to do a little bit of rock and roll, okay? Have you seen your mother, baby, standing in a bucket? I wandered lonely as a cloud. High above all those other clouds and the sky and all the birds and that and King! Off upon that goes! Yes. Now, Anyway, now I must tell you, folks, I've got to get you to watch this programme. It's a new series, actually. It's only been on for about and a half years, and it's really good. They've got some great characters. It's all genuinely set in the East End of Elstree, in Hertfordshire. In a studio lot, yeah. But they got some great characters in there. They got that bloke, yeah, he's got a phone welded to his ear hole all the time. Yeah, that's right, darling, yeah. I'm bitter and twisted. I got a penguin stapled to my shoulder and I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Why? Lofty, tell me something, mate. Why are you such a plank? Yeah, well, yeah, I resemble that statement then, yeah. Yeah. I wrote a little, like, love poem and that for Shell and things. Yeah, I'm going to do it, like, now, because I'm here. I'll do it right. Yeah, it goes like this. My love for you is so deep, it's like the sea, and all them fish and that in there and that, and they're all... Yeah, and love, like octopus, a lot of things coming out, many love and stuff, yeah. Sort your head out, Lofty, will you? Oh, no. Pete Beale, please. Oh, leave it out, then. Kath's got the right hump. Or it's Olivia, eat your socks, eh, mate? I don't know. Oh, double joy, Ali. Oi, then. Are we still going to play cards tonight? Woo.
How you doing? Okay? You know what I mean? That's right, huh? That's it. I think I deserve it, don't you? Because I am the greatest goddamn actor in the world now. You know what I mean, Chief? Just got to tell you something about my eyebrows, folks. They've left my goddamn head, huh? They're up there orbiting the Earth now, huh? You know what I mean? Goddamn furry satellites, huh?
Gino and the Paycock is a play by Sean O'Casey. Thank you. I've always deserved that for that line. Do you know, the other day, this bloke come up to me. He said, Michael Caine, what's it all about? I said, at the end of the day, it gets dark. Thank you very much indeed. My name is Phil Cornwell. Love you all. Nice one. Thank you very much. Enjoy the show.
When I'm standing in the street, I say to all the men I meet, Hello! Bonjour, monsieur. Perhaps if it's a sunny day, I sit outside a small cafe. Hello. Bonjour, monsieur. And maybe if a gentleman seems to want to hold my hand.
1, 2, 1, 1.
Why then, c'est parfait. After all, a girl must live. And I've got lots of love to give. But I never forget to say, where is your Johnny now? Johnny, dirty it is. Don't blame me if I don't want to nasty disease. It's a good tactic, just one prophylactic in your pocket, just for luck. So solve me your desires, remember the virus before your panic struck. Really, I know panic struck is not very good, but what can you do? You can't say fuck in the theater. At night, I meet my artist friends. The fun and laughter never ends. Hello! Bonsoir, monsieur! Oh, how I love La Vie Bohème. I love it, gentilhomme the same. Hello? Bonsoir, monsieur. At heart, je suis une vagabonde. And absinthe makes the heart grow fond. So with some man I may make free, but before I go with my beau-père, I like to take a little care. After all, this is gay Paris. Where is your Johnny now? Johnny, heavens above. Without a little precaution, Johnny, let's not make love. Just one little trickle, and I'm in a pickle. It's no use to be contrite. Maintenant c'est comme il faut. For how can I know who you were with last night? Oh, those ancient days, life was lived in a haze, and it's gone in a flash. Pardon, pardon. Hey, Chicky, bonjour, another amour, and you woke with a rash. Pardon, pardon. To the doctor for some pills, et c'était bien. Alors, je ne regrette rien. So, oh, where is your Johnny now? Johnny, does it float on the Seine? Whatever you do with your Johnny, Johnny, don't use it again. If you are fond of me, please use your condom. We extra strong to stop leaks. So be a good fellow, use red, green, or yellow. Put some color in my cheeks. Oh yeah! Where is your Johnny now? Johnny, don't be a clown. So we will have lots of fun. Johnny, there's no going down. Before swapping saliva, don't be mean. Spend a fiver, you know you need not break the bank. For unless you're equipped, you've got to stay zipped. You'll have only yourself to thank. So it's probably better when you've got no French letter. Yes, it's probably better to wink. Merci. Merci.
Good evening, ladies and gents. My name is Stavros. I'm afraid tonight I don't have my moustache because how come it get cut back by the Tory government, innit? Oops, little bit of politics there. My name Elton Ben, goodbye Yellow Brick Road, innit? My name's Stavros, and as you may know, I got a little kebab shop down in Bethnal Green, East London. It's only a little one, but as the ladies, they keep telling me, it's not the size that counts, it's what you do with it, innit? No, it's only little, but, you know, there's not too much competition around there. Just one Kentucky Fried Chic. But nobody really likes to go in there. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the food tastes like a load of dumpy dog shit or what, innit? Now, we're always very busy, though, especially at 11 o'clock when the pubs are shut. Time, genitals, please. And we get the bloody charge of the light ale brigade to come down. I'ma tell you, some of them are real pesky little pisshead or what? This bloke come in the other day, right? He's pissed out of his head. He goes, Stavros, you greasy bastard. I'm said to him, I'm no grease. I'm always very clean and tight. You cheeky little cocksucker monkey son. He said to me, well, if you're so clean, how come every time I'm have a kebab from here, I'm a puke up after? I'm say, maybe it's got something to do with the 13 pints of lager you had beforehand. He say, well, anyway, you don't speak props. I say, after 13 pints of lager, mate, you don't speak so bloody good yourself. bloody terrible bloody monkey sword. I don't think, anyway, it's not true. I'm a speak props, I just got a little bit of a Greek axe. It's just saying, I think everybody, Liverpool, Birmingham, everybody speak this, but it's all prop. The only bloke, to me, I think, who don't speak prop is Leicester bloody monkey pigs. What the fuck's all that about, innit? At the moment, right, he's got a court case for tax evasion hanging over his stunted little head. I can just see, right, I can see the judge is sitting there going,
Leicester bloody monkey pigs. You've been charged with tax evasion. How you plead, guilt or not guilt?
He's a bloody nutter, isn't it? I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna get a hell of a lot of nutters, not a latters, not a whatters. I think beforehand I have too many pints of Nesquik, innit? It's not good. I get a lot of nutters come in my shop, though, right? This bloke the other day, he come in. I say, you want a kebab? He said, no, I'm gonna come to canvas. I say, I don't need canvas. I got very nice line now, thank you very much. He said, no, it's for the general erection, you know. He said, please vote Conservative, please, please, please will you vote Conservative, please? I'm gonna say to him, you can ask me to vote Conservative until the cows they come home. But I'm not bloody going to. And get your head away from my knob. For myself, though, I don't really like... Shut up, please. You like the knob joke, it's very good. It's got to be edited out before it get on telly, I suppose. Oh, well, that's showbiz. I like to say, the gunmen's, right? I don't really like these gunmen's myself because the way I look at it is some people, they done very good out of it. They get tax cuts and they get shares in British bloody never bloody work telefucking Commonwealth. It's true, though. It's true. Round that Acne, right, where I live, in bloody Acne, you got to use a phone box, right? They never bloody work. The only people who use phone box, the only thing they use it for is to have a crap in, isn't it? It's a terrible thing, it really is. But on the one hand, so you got these peeps. On the other hand, though, a lot of peeps, they haven't not got bollocks, innit? Women, for instance, they don't know. That's silly. No, it's changed, though, because when I first came in England, and my wife, 30 years ago, she's called my wife, Harissa the Doors, you know her? She's not here tonight, but, you know, she's a spitting image of Penelope Keith. Except for the fact she's a little dumpy and Greek. But other than that, she looked just like her, right? Anyway, when we first came in England, right, it was the 1950s, right? It was the time when you don't never have it so blood good. So Mr. Harold, he sent them back to Russia and certain Death Macmillan. And right, a couple of groans, whoops, we got Suntory in tonight, I think. Now, but then, right, yeah, we bloody have, innit? That's okay, I don't mind it, people. Tory, you bloody monkey idiot. You don't have a brain, it's very good. It's very good. What was some political talk about? Oh, yeah. So then, right, there was loads of job. But today, there is no job, right? Except, right, in Acne, the only people who've got job are puppies. You know these puppies? Poncy, upwardly mobile peeps. I don't like them. They come in the shop, right? Say, you want a kebab? They say, ugh, meat. No, we don't like meat. You got any cold sore? I say, yeah. How many Porsche you want? He said, no, I already got a Porsche and a Golf GTI. I say, well, how come you got so much money then? What do you do for a job? He say, I'm a merchant banker. It's funny, I don't know they know this Cockney rhyming slang, you know? And then, when they come to pay, right, they go, hello, do you know me? American Express. I say, no, I don't bloody know you, and I don't take no Barclay bloody four-eyed bloody bast Alan Wicker card. I can't even take a lunch voucher anymore since I get all the citizens coming in wanting naughty, sexy Spank Harvey Proctor sort or what, isn't it? It's bloody terrible. Thank you very much. Good night.
I want to thank those guys for that introduction. Sort of walk out here. I love that. Do you think there's enough comedians on the bill tonight? I mean, my God, it's like featuring cast of thousands, like a Cecil B. DeMille movie. Oh, is it? I love this. How's everything up there in the boxes? Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, did you enjoy the show? I can't get out of here. I was taking the convenient semi-annual Morden train today on the Underground. And I saw this advert. It said, the feminine way to remove unwanted hair from the bikini area. I thought, what is this bikini area? You know, all of a sudden your head's no longer your head. It's your hat area. You know, your foot's kind of like your shoe region, I guess. And what's the feminine way? Is that like opposed to the masculine way? Just with a crowbar and a chainsaw? You know, safe sex, that's what this is all about. I'm doing my part. They have designer condoms. I designed a diaphragm. You know, have written on it clever little sayings like, have a nice day. Cervix with a smile. And you know, if you're not into it, hey, I'd rather be windsurfing. If you can read this, you're too close. I was in a taxi earlier, and I'll tell you, the driver was going on and on and on about how all Americans are obsessed with violence. I didn't say anything, but I'll tell you, I wanted to knife the jerk. And before I got the taxi, I was hassled by this weirdo guy. He just comes up to me, he goes, eh. But then he goes, think about it. Gals, when you're dressed up, you know, you've got clothes on and stuff, you've made an effort. And this guy comes up to you, he's got spit hanging out of his mouth, his flies unzipped, there's jiggly bits hanging out, spots on his pants of questionable origin, and he wants to go out with you. You know, color me stupid, but I want a man to have teeth. I watched the Cambridge-Oxford boat race on TV about a month ago. Boy, never a dull moment there, huh? I was on the edge of my seat, yeah? There's a piece of driftwood there on the left. Could mean trouble for Oxford. I'm shaking now. At this point, the boat has got to go under the bridge. That's right, the boat has got to go under the bridge. It's got to go under the bridge. How many people thought they'd pick it up and carry it around? And what gets me is they always have the same two teams in the finals. I hate dogs. My girlfriend has this dog. I hate it. She says he's just like one of the family. Really makes you want to meet the rest of them, doesn't it? You know, Uncle Charlie humping your leg at every available opportunity. Grandpa with his nose up your bum. Aunt Edna on the lawn doing her business. Party people! And I also hate those little dogs, you know, rats with genetic defects. I think they should be hollowed out and made into slippers. My husband's English. He's a typical English guy. fact, he's very reserved. It wasn't until after we were married that I actually knew he wanted to go out with me. I used to get these love letters from him that would begin with, "To whom it may concern." You know, right now he wants to have kids, and I just thank God it's not biologically possible for him to have them. I can see it now. Beep, beep. I'd be picking him up from school. Beep, 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 beep. Hurry up, kids. Get in the car. I haven't got all day. Come on, you brats. Hurry up. I'm a gal on the go. Beep, beep. Hurry up. I got to make some tuna mac at home. Beep, beep. And they'd turn to their friend and go, "Mummy's American, you know. It's really quite dreadful, isn't it?" I like movies. I like Gone with the Wind, where Scarlett rips the curtains off the wall. She makes this beautiful dress to go visit Rhett Butler in jail in Atlanta. I thought, well, what if she lived nowadays? She had to wear a pair of Venetian blinds. And every once in a while, for effect, she'd go... Or what about those haunted house, you know, those horror movies? The kind where you hear in the sound effects things like, oh, 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 oh. Then the gal goes, "Think I'll go for a walk down by that old deserted graveyard?" It's like a contest. Who's more vacant, the gal or the house? And they use such brilliant actresses, don't they? "Doctor, come quickly. There's been an explosion in the laboratory." My favorite movies, though, are the Bowery Boys, the Dead End Kids. These were tough street kids who lived in New York City. They made a series of films about them during the 30s. And the greatest thing about these kids is that they were some of the worst liars in the world. The scenarios would always run pretty much like this. "I swear it, Copper, it wasn't me what done it. Why, it was Peony what done it." "Yeah, sure, that's it. It was Peony what pulled off the milk truck deal. See, me and Benny, we was walking on the street, so yeah, sure, that's it. The street, it's all coming back to me now." I love the cops always going, "Why, I oughta if I had half a mind." "Yeah, sure, that's it, if you had half a mind." Anyway, before I go, I want to say that you guys have been a great audience, and not the kind that I'm used to playing. Usually I get these, like, really awful hecklers. In fact, recently this guy yelled out at one of my shows, he goes, "Are you a lesbian?" So I asked him, "Are you the alternative?" Thank you very much.
Truth, in which a member of the public has to find out which of our 4 celebrities is telling the truth and which are lying. And for that we need a member of the public, so please welcome our member of the public, whose name is Mr. Wass. Mr. Wass, please. Thank you. Well, good evening to you, Mr. Wass. Your Christian name is Jonathan, I understand. Is that right?
That's right, Jonathan.
Mm-hmm. And what do you do for a living?
Well, nothing. Really.
Correct. Now, it's your job, Mr. Wass, to tell which of our 4 contestant panelists is telling the truth. So let's meet them, shall we? Can we meet you, please, panel? Number 1.
My name is Melvin Bragg. I come from Cumbria, and I am an arts presenter.
Thank you, number 1. Number 2.
My name is Melvin Bragg. I come from Cumbria, and I'm an arts presenter.
Well. All right. Number 3, please.
My name's Jules Holland, and I used to present The Tube.
Thank you, number 3. Number 4.
No, my name is Jules Holland, and I used to present The fucking Tube. Oh.
There's our panel. Mr. Wass, you have to ask them questions to find out which one is telling the truth. Would you like to start your questioning now?
Okay. Contestant number 2. Who wrote the book Oliver Twist?
Oh, dear. Oliver Twist. I'm sure I've heard of that. It's one of my novels, isn't it? Did I write it?
It's a very famous book.
Oh, it can't be one of mine then. I know. It's written by Annika Rice.
Okay.
Well, there you are. Another question?
Contestant number 1. Who do you think wrote Oliver Twist?
Paul McCartney, Laurence Olivier, Anthony
number
Burke,
two,
Delia
number
Smith,
one's
Delia
question.
Smith, that's who it was.
I think it was Ken Russell.
All right. Tricky one there. Now try number 3.
Contestant 4. Why did the band Squeeze throw you out?
Well, essentially, we wanted to go our separate ways. Musically, we had different areas we wanted to explore. I think it's very important.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Number 3. Why did the band Squeeze throw you out?
Well, basically, I'm a crap keyboards player. Who actually thinks he's some kind of New Orleans jazz man. Actually, they told me to fuck off.
Well, there you are. One more question, Jonathan.
Okay. Contestant number 1. Say eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
And number 2, your version. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Edie, beady, body, but oh, bugger, I've given myself a nosebleed now.
All right. You ready to make your mind up, Jonathan?
It's very tricky.
It is tricky. I think we need help from our audience. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you all very much. We'd like you to help us, please. We're going to ask them to say their voices just once more. If you think they're telling the truth, and they are who they say you are, shout yes. If you think they're lying, could you shout liar, please, all right? So, number 1.
My name is Melvin Bragg, and I present the South Bank Show.
What do you think, audience?
Liar.
All right. Number 2.
My name is Melvin Bragg, and I present the Bloody South Bloody Bank Bloody Show.
All right. Number 3, please.
My name is Jules Holland, and I say fuck quite a lot.
And number 4, please.
My name is Jules Holland. I'm a very handsome and a very good pianist, actually.
Liar.
All right, do you agree with that, Jonathan?
Definitely.
Well, it looks as if numbers 1 and 4 are lying, and number 2 and 3 are telling the truth. Can you show yourselves number 2 and 3, please?
Absolutely.
You were absolutely right, Jonathan. And now can we have a look, please, at our lying Jules Holland, who is in reality housewife Belinda Hatred. And can we now take a look at our lying Melvin Bragg, in fact, child molester, Staff Sergeant Nicholas Vulva. Thank you very much. We'll be back at the same time next week.
That's lovely. Keep snogging. That's nice. Right, chin it.
Good evening. It's a particular pleasure to see you all here this evening because, as I'm sure you know, there is another gala happening tonight. You could have spent the evening with Alan J. Lerner.
It's a rather macabre thought when you think about it, isn't it?
Thinking about songwriters and composers, it's interesting to wonder quite where they get their inspiration from. For some, it's a simple matter of a muse. I mean, Richard Wagner had his Cosima. Johannes Brahms his Clara Schumann.
Lloyd Webber has his Sarah Brightman.
Yes.
Kermit has his Miss Piggy, come to that.
Failing that, a composer can, of course, he can think of his relations. Perhaps there are people in the family who play music. And
or he
quite
can
apart
find
from
his inspiration from other composers.
From other composers.
There's Bach, that's JS, and there's Bach, that's JC. There's Bach, WF, and there's Bach, CPE. There's Scarlatti A, and there's Scarlatti D, keeping it cozy and family. There's Strauss E and J, and there's Strauss J again. Strauss R just cashed in on the others. Then there's Lloyd Webber Pear, and there's Shy Little Sarah, and then there's the Lloyd Webber Brothers. That's Julian, the cellist, who's bundles of fun, and Andrew, who's all the rest rolled into one. You too can write a great West End score, steal it from somebody else. Why put on talent like Hardman or Sweeney? Why write a tune when you've got Paganini? Or serve them bars of musical aero, lifted straight from Bolero, and sit back as it sells. You too can write a great Western score, steal it from somebody else. Frau Mendelssohn's Felix wrote this violin tune. A song without words. What's a song without words? So a song, it needs words, yet already so soon. I don't know how to love him. I don't see why he moves me. You too can write a great Western score, steal it from somebody else. It's very easy. Don't think it's strange. All you need is a good bit of Bach. And no one will know once it's all rearranged. It's an illusion. It's not as original as they all claim. It's the prelude in C all the time. But the royalties still stay the same. The Phantom of the Opera is fabulously juicy. Though the tune is L'après-midi, they'd be bored by Claude Debussy. You see, though your talent might be bankrupt, you needn't be bankrupt yourself. Dust down the shelf, buff up the text, Rachmaninoff comes out of copyright next. So you too can write a great Western score, steal it from somebody else.
How was it for you?
It was terrific. How was it for you?
Great, great. How was it for you, Trevor?
It was fine, it was lovely. You're really smashing, super clever actors. Well, I think we've rehearsed the foreplay part well enough now. Let's move on to the bit that involves the sexual climax, shall we, darling? So, sweetheart, from you, I want a long, convincing orgasm. Okay? Okay. And go.
Oh, wow! Yippee! Hooray! Tally-ho! Yikes! Drums!
Darling, what was that?
It's an orgasm.
That is how you think an orgasm sounds?
God, this is really embarrassing. You see, I've never actually, had an orgasm.
Well, a friend of mine had one, at least she thinks she did last April. I mean, I could ring her up and ask her.
Trevor, perhaps I could be of some assistance here.
Please do, love.
Obviously, in my time, I've heard lots of female orgasms.
Sure.
And they normally sound like this.
That's a yawn, love.
Now, listen, I'll tell you what a female orgasm sounds like. Listen.
Yep.
Everyone knows a female orgasm sounds like this.
That's the bed.
The bed.
Oh, it's the bed.
Barnaby, Stu. The female orgasms sound like this.
Rather a shock. Good evening. Well, only a few more hours to go, and the nation goes to the urns for its tryst with destiny. I don't know how you feel. I'm absolutely bloody knackered. I mean, in the old days, before the terrorists' bazooka, it used to be quite fun mingling with the hoi polloi. There's always someone lobbing an egg or pouring treacle down your neck. It was quite jolly. I mean, now that only the faithful are allowed within mortar range of the boss, it's really more like being in the mousetrap. I mean, if you're actually stuffed, everyone wishes you were, and after a run as long as ours is, everyone knows who did it. I don't know whether you've been to one of Margaret's Nuremberg-style rallies, but they're all organised by this little sky pilot co-friend of Ronnie Reagan's, Hopalong Cassidy, works for Rev Billy Graham. I think his name is Barlow. Anyway, he was great Rev Graham's warm-up man. And it's a frightful shock to the party faithful, because in the old days it was a few jars in the snug, and then bindle down to the village hall for the big speech. Now they have to be on parade in the local conference centre 12 hours before curtain up, stone cold sober. Then the warm-up man comes on with a little gag book, makes them all shake hands, practice laughing and cheering, works them into a fantastic frenzy. Then 0 hour -1, strobe lighting, disorientation techniques, ghastly music by that awful little hairy chimpanzee who made so much money out of interfering with cats. By the time the royal party gets on the stage, they're absolutely frothing at the mouth, waving their flags, wetting themselves, and don't know where they are. Which, if you've heard some of Margaret's jokes, is a very good thing, really. However, it doesn't matter to them, breaking the furniture, laughing, climbing over each other, and when Margaret starts waving her flag, they go positively apeshit. The night I was there, they actually had to turn the sprinklers on. I was quite grateful for the SAS, really, otherwise we'd have all been stripped to the buff. They got all this showbiz razzmatazz actually from the smelly socks the other side. I don't know whether you see, but they inveigled these Wardour Street spivs into working some sort of film people, into trying to present the image of little Pillock as a sort of balding Rambo from the valleys. Well, the general idea is, you see, you tell Mr. Silly Billy and Fattersley and co to bugger off and leave the stage to Super Ginge, who, in the company of a few carefully selected relatives, is seen to soar above the sordid realities of labour life on wings of Welsh song. I don't know whether you've seen ours provided by the Corsican brothers, Saatchi and Saatchi, but pretty duff ads, in my view. There's Luigi Saatchi dressed up as a conjurer doing something disgusting with a pantomime horse, and then Margaret comes on, a lot of old film of Margaret mingling with the mighty, i.e. shaking hands with Hoppo, 11 wogs, and then Hoppo again. I think the thing is, Margaret, they see Margaret's really star card, really, as the fact that she's the only British politician the poor old gunslinger can recognise, and that's why they're shunting her off, you probably saw, to go and have her photograph taken with him in a gondola in that ghastly Italian sewage farm. Time I went there, stepped out of the hotel, fell straight in the swimming pool. Horrible. It's rather hard luck on Batman and Robin. Well, they seem to have vanished into that orifice into which the woozlum bird was last seen disappearing. Apparently, after the show's over, Dr. Death is joining our lot, and little Scotch fellow is going off back to the borders to commune more closely with the sheep, shades to the Falklands. In fact, the only reason, I don't know whether, the only reason we've actually got 40% in the polls is a really triumphant trick getting little bugger Mark back over into America. Otherwise, if he was still here, we'd be lagging very badly. She was hoping Margaret was hoping to play a final trump card by announcing on the eve of poll that she was hoping to be a grandmother. Miss Bergerhoff pregnant. Given the boy Mark's sense of direction, I think it's highly unlikely. Vote Labour. Vote Labour. Good luck to you all.
It's quite a walk. Have a little rest for 10 minutes now. Go back again. Have a little breather now. Didn't expect them to make me bring this on. I've got to take it back as well. Remind me when I go if I leave it. Just I always, you forgot the mic, you said you're going to take it back because they get points deducted. Bought this shirt recently. There's most of it there. There's 2 bits under here. But same as that, but thinner, much thinner bits. Still getting my breath back. When you unpack these shirts, that takes it out of it, doesn't it, when you buy a shirt, right? Who puts all those pins in? That's what I want to know. I still had 3 in when I put it on. The sleeves are a bit long, but it doesn't matter, I'll get by, they'll be all right. Better than them being too short, I always say. I've always had to say that because I've always had short arms. I was thinking recently about if I died and had to come back as something, because I like to plan ahead. I thought I'd come back as a fish, then I could definitely stop smoking. You know. Unless it was a flying fish. You have to keep the cigarettes and lighter in a polythene bag and fly. You'd never get a flying fish rolling their own, that's for sure. I'd like to come back as a penguin. They seem to have quite a nice life. Just stand around. They always seem to be waiting for, like, a great big penguin to come along with a clipboard under his wing and saying, right, you lot, go and stand over there. Go on, off you go. Go on. And you lot go over there and move those little icebergs and block that waterway because David Attenborough's coming in today. I know an ant that worked for David Attenborough. Bit of extra work. I said, what's it like? What's he like? Oh, he said, well, he's all right. We just had to walk in a line along this log. Just carrying bits of leaf and stuff. Looking busy in general. I got out of carrying anything, I just marched along on my own. Then I went out of line and he told me to get off the set. He said, get that ant will never work for me again. But the sad thing about the penguins, as I was saying, they're standing around with their mates, hanging around and stuff. They do a bit of fishing, they pop in now and then. They've got to eat, haven't they? I mean, no one's going to bring anything round for them. So come on, here's your dinner, you lot. They just dive in. That's when they work hard then. Flippers and things, they go, their feet really nip along and they just catch all the fish and land on the iceberg and rocks and stuff and stand up and digest all their dinner and stuff. I don't know whether I'd like it really at all. Because a lot of them smoke, you see. Thanks for listening. Good night.
Thank you. Now, finally, we're just going to play this short song, and a lot of you're going to think, oh, yes, I know what that is. You'd be wrong. It is, in fact, an old spiritual number called I Wish I Knew How It Felt to Be Free. And when I start it, you'll think, no, that's... and you'll all be wrong, OK? So are you ready to be wrong? Yeah. All right. You can clap along if you want. Not yet, though. Look at the fellow over there with the instrument. Follow him, he'll be fine. I knew how well it felt to be free. I wish I could move all the bones holding me. I wish you could know all the love that's in my heart. Then you'd see and agree every man should be free. Yeah, you'd see and agree every man should be Thank you very much indeed. Keith Wilkinson, Wilson Mavis.